Hey guys, it's Frotal here, and today we're going to be doing a video on our story time. I was almost a sex offender. So, this happened in the mid-90s, my now wife and I still laugh about it. But at the time, it was not even remotely funny. The names have been changed to protect the stupid. I always ask questions and never make assumptions. When my wife and I were still dating, we went on a date with a good friend of mine. He had just been dating a gal for about 2 weeks, and this was the first time we met her. From the start, I knew there would be a problem. As soon as she saw us, there was just a look on her face like that WTF am I seeing look. She never said anything to us other than hi and made a few comments about where we are going and what we had planned. Throughout the night, she stayed pretty quiet, only making enough conversation to appear slightly interested. As we finished dinner, my wife went to the restroom and my friend went to go grab his wallet from his car. She asked me how long have I been seeing my wife. I said we've been together for about 4 years. She said, so how long have you been sleeping with her? Now this was really none of her business, but not caring much, I said 4 years. She then becomes very quiet and stops looking at me. We head off to a movie and then call it a night. Since we were riding with my friend, we drop off my wife at her place. She was still living with her parents at the time due to finishing her degree. They then dropped me off at my place. I felt like it was a pretty good evening. The next morning, my friend calls me up and asks, hey, what did you and Shelly talk about last night? I told him all she asked me is how long Lisa and I have been dating and how long we've been having sex. I found it a little odd. He then said, yeah, all I could get out of her was it's completely wrong and I should dump you as a friend. We both chat a little while longer and hang up. About 30 minutes later, I get a knock at my door. When I answer, there are 2 sheriff deputies standing there. They ask me to step outside and then handcuff me. When I asked what is going on, they said I am being detained on suspicion of statutory rape. I am now about to lose it. I start to completely freak out about what is happening. I get placed in the patrol car. Everyone in my apartment complex is looking at me. The deputy closes the door and they stand outside talking for a minute. I am racking my brain trying to figure out who, when, where, what. No one is coming to mind. I've been with my wife for 4 years. What the hell is going on? I don't recall any one-night stands or anything. The only person I've been with has been her. We were the same age. Who would fall into this category? After about 5 minutes, one of the deputies opened the door. Are you currently seeing Elisa Jones? Yeah, she's my girlfriend. I've been dating her for like 4 years. Is there any reason why someone would think she is 16 years old? I guess she may look that young. I have a picture if you want to see her. I explained to the deputy where he could find the picture of me and my wife. He heads into my apartment to find the picture. Before he gets back, the other deputy opens the door, asks me to step out, and uncuffs me. He starts to apologize for the inconvenience and said it would seem that someone misled them, that a report was filed last night about a 21-year-old who has been having sex with a 16-year-old for 4 years. Everything started to click. Shelly. She was under the assumption that my wife was 16. I was 21. And I had been sleeping with her since she was 12? I'm now pissed. The deputies look at the picture and say, yeah, she does look young, that I'm a lucky man, and then they again apologize for the misunderstanding and the inconvenience. I head back to my apartment and call my wife. She tells me the cops had just been there and were asking her all kinds of questions about how old she was, who I was seeing, and how long we'd been seeing each other. They looked over her driver's license several times to make sure it wasn't fake. After verifying her age, who I was, and our current status, they radioed the other deputies to cut me loose. I told her I would call her back and call my buddy. I then explained the whole situation to him. He said, that bitch! Slammed the phone down, and that was all I heard until later that day. He swings by my place and tells me he dumped her ass and he's sorry that she put me through that. I told him we were all good and to not worry about it. We all laugh about the situation now, but at the time, we were all irritated. Bro, that is crazy. All she really had to do was ask how old the people are. OP said in the comments that they were all in the same graduating class, which means they're all the same age. She just sat there and assumed that his girlfriend was 16 and didn't even ask them or even ask the friend. Like, she didn't even bother to see what was up. She just, you know, went in guns blazing, sent the police to both their houses, scared the bejesus out of them. Like, at least get it confirmed before you go to the police about it. I'm glad that you guys, you know, got through it okay. And you didn't, you know, have to go to jail for this. Obviously, she thought she was doing the right thing, but the right thing she was doing was just based purely on assumptions, and that's not what you do. So yeah, I'm glad you got through it okay though. I'm glad nothing major happened. The time I lost my virginity-ish. When I was 17, my girlfriend at the time was finally ready to have sex. I, as one might expect of a 17-year-old, was excited. Neither hell nor high water was going to stand between me and my final destination. I get ready for the night, trim everything up, shower extra well, Unfortunately, there was also an issue. I have a digestional disorder that sometimes causes my poop to become large and quite solid while still inside me. I wasn't aware it was a treatable problem and, in fact, just thought everyone had to deal with the equivalent of anal kidney stones. I bring this up because I had a mighty one which had been loaded into my gun for several days. Let me set the scene. Her parents are away, we have her house to ourselves. She was always a little kinky, so she demands that we do it in her parents' bed. I walk into a candle holocaust. She's been working on this all day apparently, and it's as bright as high noon in there with the lights off. Which is good because she proceeds to do a sweet, sexy little dance for me. At 16, she was amazing. I'm not gonna read this next part. Jesus Christ. Now I'm sitting on the bed watching this dance. I smile and I tell her how good she looks. Unfortunately, most of my attention though is focused on the dull throbbing from my sphincter and the large amount of intestinal discomfort associated with not dropping a deuce in like days. But somehow I still get hard and we go to town. She starts out on top, then we switch. I bend her over the bed, and I even smack her ass. A ballsy move at the time, but she loved it. Due to my built-up distraction, I last for what seems like forever. She can't stop moaning and telling me how good it feels. And then she says what every man wants to hear. I want to make you go in my mouth. I love this woman. So, she goes down on me. She was always average at best in the head department, but at least she tried. She pops my dick out of her mouth long enough to look up at me and says, "Tell me if you like this." Then I feel it. She stuck her finger up my ass. My brain hits the panic switch and every muscle in my entire body locks up tighter than a 3-year-old virgin. But it's too late. I take a massive, painful poop all over her parents' comforter. No, you aren't understanding. I mean large, huge, immense. Take your largest poop and multiply it by 42 and you'll have an idea of what flew out of me. And gentlemen, when I say flew, I don't mean I pooped, I mean projectile. I mean hurricane force winds hitting an umbrella stand, and due to my condition, it comes out as a large, dark, round, smelly harpoon. I know it hit her. I didn't see it. She ran screaming, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, ew!" But I always imagine that due to her position, it hit her right in the chin. Or at least on the tit. I would like to say I got up to go after her, but I heard the bathroom door shut and I just lied there. The smell hit me after a few seconds. It smelled like someone rolled a cat in poop and threw it into a tire fire. I looked down and saw, to date, the largest bowel movement I've ever heard of laying on the bed. Then I noticed the blood, and when I did, I noticed the pain. Apparently, the fact that it was so large caused it to rip my ass a little bit. There was a small pool of blood where my ass had been. A final reminder of the exact place and moment I lost my virginity. I will treasure this memory for all of my days. I grab my poop with my hands and go to the downstairs bathroom. I throw around a third into the toilet and flush, fearing any more will clog it and only add to my already significant woes. I stand there, holding 2/3 of the biggest poop of all time, feeling a trickle of blood flow down my leg, trying to ignore the sharp pain stabbing my rectum. I find myself wishing I had a photo of this. Anyway, I finished flushing my baby, clean off my hands, jammed toilet paper between my cheeks. I skipped the band-aid and went upstairs. I could hear my girlfriend sobbing from behind the bathroom door. I decided not to say anything to her and just keep moving. The smell in her parents' room was abysmal. It's like when you take a dump and walk out of the bathroom, you think, hey, not so bad today. But then you walk back in to grab your magazine and you go, holy crap. It was one of those moments. The scene is burned behind my eyelids for all time. My life, my shame. The very first time smelled like a pile of dead babies. I quickly got dressed since the heat from 10,000 candles was making the room feel like more of a porta potty. I was aware enough to grab the comforter on my way out and drag it downstairs to their washer. Also the top and bottom sheets since the blood had leaked on through all the way to the mattress. Still no sign of my girlfriend, but at this point I considered it a blessing. I jammed them in the washer with 3 loads worth of detergent and set it on spin, knowing that not even the hand of God would save these linens, let alone tied in snuggles. Then I left. I avoided my girlfriend's calls for days until she came to my house. We had a long talk about what happened, talk being synonymous with breaking up with me because I crapped on her. And it was all over. She promised not to tell a soul, and I don't think she ever did. She was probably as ashamed as I was about the whole deed. But I will always remember this happening as the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. This story is fucking shameful. I am glad that your girlfriend didn't tell anyone, and that you have also never told anyone except on r/storytime, because it is awful. It just makes me feel dirty, it makes me feel unclean, and it makes me want to end this video. So I'm just gonna go take a shower right now. So subscribe if you like me, like the video if you like these stories, and yeah, just I'm gonna go.